Today I'm going to talk about special education and some of the adversity that we are forced to go through when we're in such a class. Some people do better than others, but I'm not going to go into that whole generalization thing where everyone was just different and some people had good experiences and some people had bad experiences. I'm going to talk a little bit about the negative experiences that I've had. People were told from a very young age that I was retarded. Even in high school, I had teachers tell the class that I couldn't read and that I needed extra help, and that made me very popular. But pretty much after elementary school, they were going for blood anyway, so whatever. Programs like No Child Left Behind really slow down the people who are achievers, and there are some that are just never going to get it, and they should just write exempt subject on our high school diplomas. I mean, I don't know. I could do some stuff, but not really. I mean, I made okay grades in everything but math, but I'm saying this and I'm not whining. I'm not trying to whine, but I was abused so much from a young age that my memory was, destroyed. And I had some language problems too and some other problems with behavior that they all ignored. Got a lot of money in the US. So anyway, programs like that are pointless. Putting us in classes we can't do is pointless. And I think there should just be tests, like aptitude tests after middle school to get your first line in high school. But they throw us all in stuff. They don't watch us. So I know some people track, but we don't track here. And so you're just thrown to the wind, and people like Corey Johnson end up in the gutter, and I end up in all sorts of strange places too. I'd like to say that most people are ordinary, but they're taught in school that have big dreams, that they're going to achieve this and that, and that's just kind of like the delusion that's in America that I don't like, because it's like, well, you have to put forth effort and do a lot to break the mold. Most people, like I said, don't break the mold. And as far as evolution goes, they taught it in a way that it was survival of the fittest, and that people like me were just kicked out because we were not fit. Well, I'd like to see them survive my life. And from a very young age, if I could have the morals that some of these people have, I can promise you I would have not been an evolutionary failure, or if I could fight back, which has been a huge problem for me in society. They're like, oh, you can't do anything. And I'm like, no. And I had my little crying fits and my tantrums. And it's just so pathetic that she thinks your emotions matter. I know, it's really annoying. But I've ended up in all sorts of weird situations, especially from an adult on. I mean, before then was pretty bad too, but yeah. I really advocate a program for disabled children that allows them protection and psychological screening so that we aren't tortured to death. I know they're not going to ever make separate schools for us because it's cheaper to put us all together and then torment us and have everyone hate us. And some people made friends. Some people had loving parents who watched out for them, but a lot of us, our parents hate us, or just they don't care because they know it's frustrating. Okay, and let me tell you about a frustrating situation here. Okay, I'll give you an example. So I'm put into geometry right, and I can't do it. So all the other kids know that I can't do it, and they make my learning day very, very annoying. I'm not really articulating this properly. What would I say to that? It's that they know that I'm not going to succeed, and they just are like, well, she's stupid. And I'm like, yeah, I am. I don't know. And then they have problems with that too, but it frustrates teachers, and it makes them have to take special time, and then the kid gets frustrated, then the teacher gets frustrated, then we have all sorts of problems with the teacher punishing the child. And at home too, it was difficult because I had psychiatric issues from abuse. And like I said, I'm not whining about abuse. I'm just telling you that things happened for reasons that I was just psycho. And my mom wanted to commit me, and she couldn't do it because my dad kept telling her, oh, you can't do it. And the people that were giving her money kept saying, oh, Kayla's a nice person. And yes, I'm a nice person, but I had psychological issues. Nothing like turning me into my abusers every 2 weeks or so. I mean, that didn't help mom at all. So basically on my dad's side, it's just a bunch of garbage. People are worthless. It happened. What ended up happening to a guy was that my great grandma or something was really, really pretty, and he didn't listen to other people who told him that she wasn't. And I'm sure there was more going on there than I'd like to talk about in proper society. But yeah, so that just made hell for that, and then it just keeps going each generation. My dad's kind of getting senile, and he needs help mentally, like he's falling over drunk every night. And I don't live with him or anything. He lives way away from me. But yeah, he talks about all his friends and how important he is and all this other stuff. And he's always been insane and abusive, and kind of, I would say just kind of like, his mom didn't really teach him right from wrong, and she didn't spank him or punish him much. So he doesn't think that anything will happen. The consequences are beginning to stack up, and he's freaking out, and there's no way to help him. I've called the cops and everything else after he called me. I wasn't afraid for my life when he said he wanted to bring me to the throne of God, because I'm used to that. I mean, I've survived so much crap. It's like, well, whatever. Yeah, it's just, and this is what happens with disabled people and people who have emotional problems and people who struggle. They can't survive in life. And if you keep making more of them, like, okay, I know that it's genetic by now. I don't know if they can pinpoint whatever happened to my brain and everything else, but I mean, I have a lot of familial experience, and I didn't have a very good upbringing because of it either when I lived with him. And then these people want me to partner with someone my equal and possibly have children. That's kind of getting less, because I'm 34 now, so in about 6 years, six to like 15 years, I'll be I'll go through menopause and I won't have a period or kids or anything. But they've tried to force me to do that over and over again. I can't defend myself, and that's been a very big problem in my life. Like, even in school, if I tried to defend myself, I just get sent to the room in behavioral modification. It's like, there's a reason why I was stressed out and I was a child and I didn't wake up in time, and, well, it just happens. Like I said, the underdog hardly ever makes it, except for in Hollywood. Most of us have horrible lives and horrible outcomes. But I like to read and write and think and stuff, and that got a little hard after, they dragged me off for liking Durav in the middle of the night with their black spray crap that Elsie puts out. And you know what? I want to say that that's some bull crap. That she gets to undress half of herself and put these morals out. Like, oh, don't cheat on your boyfriend, your girlfriend. Well, why don't you wear all your clothes if you're going to be conservative and not like that kind of thing? And all these gangs and stuff, it's just pointless. We're basically just, you get so violated, and I've been so violated in life, that it's like, what can you possibly do to me to make it worse? My brain, they did do that, but it's just like, I don't care anymore about that kind of stuff. I've just been so abused that I just try to walk away and do something else. And they just wanted to make me a perfect human in society again. And in society, I absorb all sin, which basically means if there's a problem, it's my fault. Like world peace, there would be world peace if I were dead, right? I'm a moocher, I'm a pig, Zuckerberg put up on his Facebook. Well, that's great. That's great. So I just don't know why we can't do things the humane way, and why people want power over others when they can't handle it. Yeah, it's annoying. Like, Obama always blamed ordinary people too, and I'm like, what are we going to do about it? We only have so many options. I mean, it's just not my job, but again, like everything, I'll continue this ramble. I'm just kind of dead, and I really just want to pull a favor from Putin and live in Sochi, Russia, until the end of my days, because I've just had enough of being here, and I'm really annoyed with it. I hardly ever do anything with anyone. Like, inclusion is delusion. When we get older, we're abandoned, and the right to fail, we pretty much just get killed by stuff constantly. It's just annoying. It's like, go away. I just want to kind of chill with my nook, and I want to write a story, which I haven't been able to do lately, but right after this video, I'm going to get some lemon tea, and we're going to have a fun day writing at least 1,000 words. I know I used to be able to write novels really fast, but then, yeah, liking Durav killed that with Elsie. I am such a home wrecker. I've also been paralyzed and told how they were going to kill my entire family. That happened in 2013 when I was living at Willow Creek, and I was like, why can't we use these non-lethal weapons on, like, people in Yemen and stuff like that? Why do we have to, like, screw over all the children and that crap? I don't know, man, because people can't handle the power. They can't handle it. And I will say something about that, is that and I don't blame soldiers, and I don't blame them for what happened, because if there's one 5-year-old that brings out a huge weapon, that 5-year-old has just killed everybody in the group. So I don't sympathize with those 80 dead people, because they let a child or someone have a weapon, and that just got them all killed. Because you don't know. And it's just like, but with the non-lethal weapons, and that's what I really want to advocate, you could just make them all fall to the ground, but we do it with greedy gold diggers missing their front teeth. Okay, I'm everything you hate, Marilyn Manson, and Durav, and you and me and the devil make three have some issues, but yeah, whatever.